Without a doubt, social media is the great equalizer. Until the arrival of WordPress, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, big business had an unfair advantage. Any business could, of course, create a website, but few had the resources and knowledge to capture global exposure and sales. Most small businesses had to settle for direct mail, local newspapers, networking, pay-per-clicks, and things like that because they simply could not compete with the big budgets of the big brands. Now, in most cases, the advertising mediums with the biggest reach and frequency, TV, radio, online, banner, and outdoor, were out of the grasp of the average small business. Social media changed all of that. With social media, anyone can create an online presence and broadcast their uncensored views or talent worldwide for less than $500. People like Justin Bieber and Lily Allen went from middle-class obscurity to millions of fans and multi-million-dollar careers virtually overnight due to the power of social media. Nielsen published statistics show that the world now spends over 110 billion minutes on social networks and blogs. What this means is that you and I and our prospects are now spending 25% of our time, around 12 to 15 hours a month, visiting these types of sites. And unlike the consumption of other types of media, social media is doubling year on year. It's inexpensive, and it's now available 24/7 on any mobile device. And therein lies the problem. Good and bad news, whether true or untrue, can spread online like an epidemic. As opposed to advertising, which is initiated by you, a large percentage of what is said in social networks is contributed by people outside of your organization. How do you keep track of every single thing that is said and written about you? It's almost impossible to monitor and control where and how your brand is mentioned online. That's why social media has the potential to boost your reach and sales exponentially, but it could also easily bring out the worst in your company. With this in mind, what do you need to do or consider in order to mitigate these risks? Number one, social media is for social interaction. The focus of traditional marketing and advertising is on lead generation and sales. However, in social media, it's all about engaging with others, exchanging information, and creating relationships. In order to excel in the realm of social networks, you will need to offer value up front to gain followers and then focus on getting to know them and understanding their needs. Prospects and customers are more interested in the interaction that they have with you than they are on the deals or special offers. If you don't engage with your followers on their terms, you risk doing more harm to your brand than good. Think of how many people and businesses have asked you to like their brand, retweet a message, or join their mailing list in the past 24 hours. We are inundated with brands talking at us in social media, and it's getting harder to create an impression and to persuade us to act, isn't it? Number two, look for opportunities to turn around customer experiences. You will discover more in 1 week about your brand in social media circles than you will find in a full year of traditional research. People don't censor their opinions when they share with their friends, and you are likely to hear a lot of stories about how you have fallen short of their expectations. All of this is a very good thing because it means that you now have a direct opportunity to make it right. Of course, you have to be listening, and you need to have a strategy on how you're going to deal with it. In the absence of these two things, you are actually worse off because the story will spread like wildfire and it will carry a much greater weight since it's shared among friends. Most will mistakenly view social media as a great place to sell more stuff. It's actually a far better place to listen to what customers are saying and take action to turn around bad experiences into positive ones. Number three, what is it really costing you? Now, on the face of it, social media appears practically free, doesn't it? However, when you factor in the time it takes you to produce the content across various mediums, cross-promote it, reply to followers, it could easily turn into someone's full-time job. Your time or the time of a team member is valuable, and it needs to be measured against the returns generated by this online activity. Return on investment is a function of both tangible and intangible factors. In my experience, far too many small businesses are getting caught up in the hype of social media without a clear understanding of the real cost or the return. Why spend hours a day posting and interacting online if you can generate a better response by speaking directly to your customers or asking them for a referral? Social media only it promises that you can talk to more people for less money. It doesn't guarantee that anyone will listen to you or that you will earn the same return on investment that you could earn elsewhere. Number 4, be clear about your brand and your branding strategy. Prospects often need to see the same message many times before they will decide to take action. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make is to overload your audience with too many messages because you're trying to be all things to all people. Repetition is the key to retention. In order to be remembered and acted upon, your message should be consistent across all channels, including social media. This means that wherever your prospects and customers see you, they have to experience your brand and your message in the exact same way. This can become difficult when you are trying to manage multiple platforms and respond to what is happening in real time. It pays to have a very clear strategy before you embark on social media. Social media is not like traditional advertising channels. It is very fluid and dynamic. As such, circumstances can change on a daily basis, and you need to outline ahead of time what your key messages are and how they should be communicated consistently to your audience. Number 5, social media is not for everyone. Who manages your social media? If it is not you personally, does that employee or part-time contractor understand what your plan and overall strategy is? In many cases, they may be the most direct link to your target market, and everything that is said by them on your behalf will have far-reaching implications for your brand and your company. If they are responding to a disgruntled customer, or worse, an insane person who is just trying to create trouble, do they know exactly what to do to diffuse the situation? If the situation gets out of hand, at what point do you find out and become involved? Do you have the means to take action and protect your brand if matters get out of hand or if you become the target of defamation? The reach and potential of social media is great. So are the risks. While it may seem harmless and fun on the surface, the capacity to do irreparable harm to your brand is very real. Social media needs to be entered into with a very clear plan. It's not something that you should delegate freely or allow to run unmanaged. Start first by monitoring what is said about you and your brand online. There are many free services which can assist you to do this. Take some time to investigate what your competitors are doing and other well-known brands. Watch them in the space. Then once you understand the key platforms and what you hope to gain on each by participating, then you can begin to create a community of followers with confidence, control, and safeguards.